Welcome, dear traveller of the night, and thank you for finding your way back to sleepy survival stories. In this quiet hour, the world outside can loosen its grip. The screens can dim, the shoulders can soften, and the day can fold itself away like a map returned to a pocket. Wherever you are listening from, beneath a city's hush, beside a country wind, or under the simple shelter of your own room, may this voice arrive like a small lamp in a familiar window. Tonight, we settle over the high world, over K2, the mountain that stands like a dark cathedral of stone and ice, and over one of its most whispered pathways, the Magic Line. Even the name sounds like something written in starlight, an invisible thread laid across impossible steepness, a promise drawn between shadow and summit. The Magic Line is a real route, traced along K2's severe south-facing heights, where the mountain's walls rise like scripture carved into frozen rock. A famed alpinist once looked at K2's south-southwest pillar and called it a magic line, because it seemed to invite the impossible with a quiet, dangerous grace. As we begin, you do not need to be brave in any loud way. You do not need to carry ropes, or count the meters, or understand every turn of the ridge. You only need to rest. Let your breathing become slow and simple, like snow falling without effort, in and out and again. Let the exhale be longer. Feel the weight of your blanket as a gentle shelter. Let your jaw unclench. Let your hands be open, as if releasing the last small worries of the day. In these hours, we will walk through 100 quiet facts, small lanterns of survival wisdom, drawn from the story and spirit of K2's Magic Line. How extreme cold changes the body's needs, how altitude turns each step into a prayer for oxygen, how storms arrive without apology, and how the strongest climbers are often the ones who know when to pause, when to retreat, when to listen. We will remember that sacrifice is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is simply the choice to stay calm, to protect a partner, to conserve warmth, to retreat before pride becomes danger. If your mind wanders, let it wander kindly. If a thought arrives heavy, set it down as you would set down a pack at camp. Imagine the Karakoram night, wide and still, where stars hang bright above black rock and the wind speaks in long, patient sentences. Imagine a headlamp's warm circle on snow, a quiet breath inside a hood, the soft creak of ice far away like distant incense. And as this story unfolds, let it be more than history. Let it be a gentle mirror, a reminder that the hardest lines in life are not always crossed with force, but with steadiness, with calm, with love that refuses to hurry. You're here to rest, to breathe, and to be held in a story larger than yourself. On K2, the night feels closer than anywhere else. The sky is not far above. It is a vast, dark ceiling sprinkled with cold fire, and every star looks sharp enough to cut. The Magic Line begins with this kind of silence, where the mountain does not announce itself with noise, only with presence. Climbers learn early that survival is not about conquering, but about listening. Listening to wind direction, to snow texture, to the simple truth of fatigue. In that listening, the first sacrifice is made, the ego is set down like an unnecessary tool, and in its place, humility arrives, quiet and strong, like a small flame protected by cupped hands. Breathe slowly now, and feel how humility can be restful. The Magic Line was named for a vision, an imagined path up K2's steep south face that looked almost drawn by fate. From afar it seemed to rise in a clean arc through cliffs and hanging ice, a line too elegant for such a brutal mountain. But the closer you come, the more the magic reveals its cost. There are no gentle slopes here, only steepness that demands constant attention. Survival in places like this is built from small, faithful choices: one careful foot placement, one steady breath, one quiet check of a partner's gloves. In the high world, love often appears as practicality. Let that thought settle in you like warm tea and drift. K2 is known for being colder and more severe than many peaks of similar height, and the magic line sits exposed to that seriousness. Cold is not only a sensation, it is a force that steals energy, stiffens fingers, and turns simple tasks into slow rituals. A buckle becomes a test, a knot becomes a prayer. Climbers survive by protecting heat like something sacred, layering wisely, eating even when appetite fades, moving just enough to stay warm without sweating. In this, there is a gentle lesson for life below. Preserve your inner warmth. Do not waste it on panic. Hold it close, breathe in peace, and breathe out quiet strength. Altitude changes the meaning of time. On the magic line, minutes stretch long, because each movement asks for oxygen that the air no longer offers freely. The heart works harder, the mind grows foggy, and even simple decisions can feel far away. Experienced climbers learn to slow down before the mountain forces them to. They speak less, they waste nothing. And in that quiet economy, they discover a strange tenderness. How precious each clear thought becomes, how sacred each breath feels. Tonight, you can borrow that tenderness without the suffering. Let your breath be a gift you don't rush. Let it come and go like a calm tide. The south face of K2 is steep enough that rest cannot be taken for granted. Often, a climber's sleep is a half-sitting doze, clipped into the mountain like a child held upright in a parent's arms. This is why preparation matters so deeply. A good anchor is not just gear, it is trust made visible. A sheltered stance is not comfort, it is mercy. The magic line teaches that the body can endure much, but the spirit needs reassurance, a calm voice, a steady plan, the simple words, "You're safe." Hear those words now as if whispered beside you. You're safe. You can rest. On routes like the magic line, storms do not feel like weather, they feel like judgment. Wind hammers the face, snow blinds the eyes, and the world shrinks to a hood, a rope, and the next secure hold. In such moments, survival depends on discipline, keeping gloves on, protecting skin from frostbite, maintaining hydration even when the bottle tries to freeze. But it also depends on something quieter, hope that does not shout, hope that simply endures. A climber might not feel brave, but they keep moving carefully anyway. Tonight, let that kind of hope live in you softly. Even if you feel tired, you are still carried forward by grace. The magic line has been called one of the most difficult and dangerous routes on K2, because it climbs through terrain where retreat can become as hard as ascent. That reality teaches a deep respect for turning back early before the door closes. In the mountains, wisdom is often the courage to stop. This is not weakness, it is protection. It is love for the future. Many lives have been saved by the simple decision to descend while there is still time. Let that wisdom touch your own life, gently. You do not have to force every door open. Sometimes peace is found in release. Exhale slowly and let something unnecessary fall away. At high altitude, the body's thirst can hide, even while dehydration grows. Cold air steals moisture with every breath, and effort drains water quietly. Climbers learn to drink by discipline, not by desire. Melting snow, warming bottles inside jackets, taking small sips again and again. Survival here is made of repetition, not drama. A small sip, a steady breath, a quiet check. Tonight, you can practice that same gentleness, small returns to calm. If your thoughts run ahead, take one sip of stillness. If your chest feels tight, take one long breath. The body understands kindness. The spirit does too. Frostbite is one of the high world's most patient dangers. It does not always arrive with pain. Sometimes it begins as numbness, a quiet fading of sensation, like a candle lowering its flame. On the magic line, climbers watch each other's cheeks, noses and fingers, because awareness can be life-saving. They warm skin, adjust layers, cover exposed places before the damage deepens. This is the mountain's reminder. Suffering is not always loud. So tonight, be gentle with the quiet parts of you. Notice where you've gone numb from stress or fatigue. Place warmth there, through breath, through softness, through permission to sleep. Above a certain height, the mind can play strange tricks. Confusion, poor judgment, and hallucinations can drift in like thin clouds. Climbers call it the mountain stealing clarity, and they protect themselves by using routines, simple checklists, repeated habits, trusted partners who can notice mistakes. On the magic line, a partner's presence can be the difference between safety and tragedy. Human endurance is rarely solitary. Even the strongest need a witness, a guide, a steady hand nearby. As you rest now, imagine a gentle presence beside you, quiet, watchful, kind, keeping you safe as you drift deeper into sleep. As those first truths settle like snow on a quiet tent, let your breathing soften again, in and out, unhurried. Imagine a small camp cut into the mountainside, a pocket of stillness in a world of stone. The rope is clipped, the anchor is firm. Nothing needs to be proven tonight. Let the lessons of cold and altitude become gentle, not heavy, like a wool blanket placed over the shoulders of the mind. If a thought tries to climb ahead, smile at it kindly and bring it back to this simple place. One breath, one heartbeat, one resting moment. Here, you're safe to drift. The magic line runs through terrain where falling ice can arrive like sudden scripture, without warning, without apology. This is why climbers move early, when the night still holds the cold steady and the sun has not yet awakened the mountain's loose dangers. Timing becomes a form of reverence. You learn to travel while the world is firm, and to pause when warmth makes the ice restless. Survival, here, is not just strength, it is patience with nature's rhythms. Tonight, you can practice that same wisdom in your own body. Rest when it is time to rest. Let the night keep you. On K2, the margin for error grows thin, like air itself. Gloves must stay dry, layers must stay balanced, and decisions must stay simple. The magic line teaches that complexity can be a burden at altitude, so climbers reduce life to essentials: warmth, water, shelter, partnership, and the next safe move. In that simplicity, the spirit finds a strange freedom. There is less room for noise, less room for pretending. Only what is real remains. Let that simplicity visit you now. You do not have to carry everything in your mind tonight. Keep only what is gentle. Let the rest fall away. Fear, on the steep face, often arrives quietly, like a shadow sliding across snow. The most experienced climbers do not fight fear with loud courage. They meet it with routine. Check the knot, check the anchor, check the partner, breathe again. Fear becomes something you move beside, not something you obey. The magic line is filled with moments where calm is the rarest skill of all, and calm is built, not found, built from breath, from focus, from humble repetition. So breathe once more, slowly. Let calm be your companion. Let it walk beside you into sleep. In the highest camps, even melting snow is work that costs precious fuel and energy. Yet without water, the body fades quickly, and the mind grows dim. So climbers treat small flames as sacred, tiny blue tongues of heat in a universe of cold. A stove becomes a sanctuary, a cup becomes a blessing. This is the mountain's quiet sermon. Small warmth matters, small care matters. Tonight, your own warmth is already here. Your bed, your blanket, this steady voice. Receive it like water received at altitude, slowly, gratefully, and without rush. The south face holds very little kindness for the careless hand. A slipped crampon, a rushed swing of an ice tool, a moment of distraction, and gravity begins to speak. On the magic line, climbers learn to treat attention as a form of prayer, not tense, not frantic, just steady. They keep their eyes soft but awake. They move as if the mountain is listening because it is, and in that careful movement there is a quiet dignity. The body becomes honest, the mind becomes simple, the heart becomes present. Tonight, you can borrow that presence without the risk. Feel your bed beneath you. Let your breath be your anchor. There are places on K2 where the wind never seems to stop, as if the mountain is always exhaling. Wind strips warmth, erases tracks, and turns spoken words into whispers swallowed by the air. So climbers learn a different language. Hand signals, glances, small nods of agreement. They learn that not everything needs to be said out loud to be understood. Partnership becomes quiet, almost sacred. A shared rope is more than safety, it is belonging. And even if you are listening alone tonight, you are still held by something steady, by the human story, by endurance passed down like a blessing, by the calm rhythm of breath. In and out, let yourself be held. At high altitude, food becomes strange, appetite fades, taste dulls, and the body sometimes refuses what it desperately needs. Yet climbers still eat, because survival is not based on what feels pleasant, but on what sustains. Small bites, warm drinks, simple calories, each one a gift to the muscles and the mind. On the magic line, nourishment is an act of humility, admitting you are human, admitting you need support, admitting you cannot run on willpower alone. Let that lesson soften you. You do not have to be fueled by pressure or perfection. Tonight, you are allowed to be nourished by rest. Let sleep feed you quietly, like gentle bread for the soul. The cold can make the world feel hard, but the stars above K2 can make it feel holy. Climbers have spoken of nights when the sky seemed close enough to touch, and the Milky Way poured across darkness like a river of pale light. In those moments, the mountain's danger does not disappear, but awe arrives, and awe can steady the heart. The magic line reminds the human spirit that beauty still lives in harsh places. That wonder can exist beside hardship like a candle beside stone. So let wonder come to you now, softly. Imagine starlight resting on snow. Imagine peace settling on your chest, and drift. The magic line is steep enough that every camp feels earned, like a small island carved from a stormy sea. Sometimes a camp is no more than a ledge the width of a sleeping pad, scraped flat with gloves that ache from cold. Yet even that narrow shelf becomes a home for the night. In the high world, home is not luxury, It is whatever allows your body to stop shaking and your mind to stop racing. A simple shelter becomes a sanctuary. Tonight, you have a wider home than any ledge on K2. Let your room feel like a safe valley. Let your bed be a sheltered basin. Let your breathing be a warm tent around your heart. When climbers speak about K2, they often mention its storms and steepness, but they also speak of time, how time changes shape at altitude. A single hour can feel like a long pilgrimage, and a single decision can carry the weight of a lifetime. On the magic line, this teaches a sacred patience. You cannot hurry the mountain, you cannot demand it soften for you. You only meet it with honest steps, one at a time. This is a quiet truth for life below as well. You do not need to solve tomorrow tonight. You only need this breath, this exhale, this gentle moment. Let time become soft again. Let it widen like a calm sky. The air high on K2 holds less oxygen, and so the body learns thrift. Movements become economical. Hands stop fidgeting. Speech becomes minimal. Even emotions can feel slowed, as if the mountain invites the heart into silence. This is not emptiness, it is clarity. The magic line teaches that the spirit can survive on less noise than it believes. In the quiet, you hear what truly matters: warmth, safety, companionship, and the steady miracle of breath. So if your mind is loud tonight, let it grow quieter by degrees, not by force, just by gentle returning. Each time you notice a thought, let it pass like a cloud over a ridge and come back to breathing. On steep faces, ropes are lifelines, but they can also be burdens, tangling, snagging, pulling at the waist. Climbers learn to manage rope with calm hands, because panic makes knots tighter and mistakes more likely. They learn to slow down when things get complicated. This is the mountain's kind instruction. When life tangles, breathe first. When stress tightens, loosen the grip. On the magic line, the simplest path through trouble is often patience. Tonight, if anything feels knotted inside you, worry, regret, unfinished tasks, do not pull harder. Just breathe. Let the knot relax in its own time. Drift gently. K2's south face receives harsh sun when it arrives, and that sunlight can be both blessing and threat. It warms stiff fingers, brightens the world, and makes the ice sparkle like broken glass. But it also wakes the mountain's instability, loosening snow, softening ice, and increasing the risk of falling debris. So climbers learn discernment. Warmth is good, but too much warmth at the wrong time can be dangerous. This balance becomes a lesson of wisdom, knowing when to move, when to shelter, when to wait. Let that balance touch your own life. Warmth is meant to comfort, not to burn you. Tonight, choose gentle warmth. Choose the slow kind. Choose sleep. The magic line draws people who are willing to face long uncertainty. Not every day offers progress. Sometimes storms hold climbers still for hours, even days, pressed into cramped tents while wind shakes the fabric like a drum. In such waiting, survival becomes spiritual. You learn to conserve energy, to keep morale soft, to find peace in stillness instead of fighting it. Waiting becomes not wasted time, but protected time, a hidden gift. Tonight, you are also waiting in a way, waiting for sleep to arrive. Let it come naturally. You do not have to chase it. You only have to make room, breathe, and let stillness do its quiet work. On K2, the cold can make metal bite. Carabiners freeze, zippers stiffen, and the simplest click of gear can become slow and stubborn. Climbers learn to keep important pieces warm, tucking hardware inside jackets, breathing on buckles, working patiently with numb fingers. This is not glamour, it is devotion to the small things that keep life intact. The magic line teaches that survival is often unromantic, built from quiet persistence. So tonight, let your own small persistence be enough. You don't need a grand transformation. You only need to keep breathing gently. Let your body do what it knows, soften, slow, and settle into sleep. High on the south face, sound behaves differently. Wind roars like a distant ocean, but human voices vanish quickly, swallowed by space. Sometimes climbers only hear their own breath inside the hood, loud and intimate like waves in a cave. That breath becomes a metronome, a steady drum that reminds them they are still here, still alive, still moving. This is one of the oldest survival tools of all, returning to breath when the world becomes too big. Tonight, your breath can be that same steady guide. Hear it gently, in and out. Let it carry you the way a slow song carries a tired child. The magic line is not a place where you can power through with brute force. Strength helps, yes, but endurance is the true currency, and endurance is born from pacing. Climbers learn to climb as if saving something precious for later. They stop before exhaustion becomes collapse. They drink before thirst arrives. They adjust layers before sweat turns to ice. This is wisdom that looks like kindness. It is self-respect in a harsh place. Let that spirit visit you now. If your days have been rushed, let tonight be different. You're allowed to pace your life. You're allowed to slow down. Sleep is not a reward you must earn. It is a home you may enter. On steep ground, the body's position matters. A small shift can restore circulation to cold feet. A slight loosening of boots can ease numbness. A change of posture can reduce the ache in shoulders strained by pack straps. Climbers become attentive to these tiny adjustments because comfort is not indulgence. It is survival. The magic line teaches gentle maintenance. Care for the body so the spirit can remain clear. Tonight, make a small adjustment if you need to. Let your neck soften. Let your shoulders sink. Let your hands unclench. These are quiet acts of mercy, and mercy is a doorway to rest. There is a particular loneliness on steep faces, even when you climb with others. The world is vast and the human body feels small against it. Yet many climbers describe moments of deep connection, watching a partner move carefully, sharing a sip of warm drink, hearing a simple okay through the wind. These small exchanges become luminous, like lanterns in darkness. On the magic line, love is rarely dramatic. It is steady, it is patient, it is practical. Tonight, let yourself remember that steady love exists in your life too. Perhaps from people, perhaps from faith, perhaps from the quiet goodness that keeps showing up. Let it warm you as you drift. K2 has a reputation that can tempt the ego, but the mountain does not care about reputation. It does not respond to pride or promises. It responds only to reality, weather, terrain, time, and the limits of the human body. The magic line teaches the sacredness of truth, seeing conditions clearly, admitting fatigue honestly, choosing life over legend. This truth is not harsh, it is protective, it saves. So tonight, let truth be gentle in you. If you're tired, admit it without shame. If you need rest, take it without apology. The strongest thing you can do right now is let yourself sleep. As these truths settle, let your mind grow quieter, like wind easing after a long night. Imagine a small light inside a tent, steady, golden, unbothered by the dark outside. With each breath, that light becomes softer, warmer, more forgiving. In and out. Let the muscles of your face relax as if they are melting snow. Let the thoughts loosen their grip and drift away like spindrift off a ridge. You are not climbing tonight. You are resting. You are safe. And the story will carry you onward, gently, without hurry. On the magic line, the margin between warmth and danger can be thin as paper. Too many layers and sweat forms, then freezes into chill. Too few layers and the cold slips into the bones. Climbers learn to adjust constantly, like tending a small flame. They open a zipper for a moment, then close it again. They add a layer before stopping, not after. Survival becomes a quiet conversation with the body, listening, responding, staying humble. Tonight, you can also listen to your body without judgment. If you need a blanket pulled higher, do it. If you need a deeper breath, take it. Comfort is not weakness. Comfort is wisdom. High altitude can make the simplest emotion feel distant, like a voice across a valley. Some climbers describe a strange calm, part exhaustion, part clarity, where the mind becomes sparse and quiet. Others feel the opposite, irritability, sadness, or sudden anxiety rising without clear cause. The magic line teaches compassion for these shifts. They are not moral failures, they are physiology. The body under stress speaks through mood. So tonight, if you have felt heavy lately, hold yourself gently. You are not broken. You're human. Let sleep be your healer. Let it arrive like a soft hand on the forehead, cooling the heat of worry. On routes this steep, falling is not the only danger. Dropping gear can be costly too. A lost glove, a dropped tool, a vanished bottle cap can become a serious problem in cold and altitude. So climbers move with careful rituals, clipping, stowing, checking, repeating. These habits are not obsessive, they are love made practical. The magic line reminds us that survival is built from consistency, not excitement. Tonight, you don't need excitement, you need steadiness. Let your breath be the habit that never leaves you. Let it keep returning like a faithful friend. The south face of K2 is often described as severe because it offers few places to truly hide. Exposure is constant. Wind, cold, steepness, and the open sky. In such exposure, climbers learn the value of microshelter. A small overhang, a slight indentation, a tent angled just right. The smallest protection can feel like a sanctuary. This is a holy lesson. Even tiny refuge matters. Tonight, your refuge is already prepared. Your room is your microshelter. Your bed is your sanctuary. Let yourself feel gratitude for this simple safety, and let gratitude soften you towards sleep. The magic line draws climbers who respect the art of retreat. On big mountains, retreat is not failure. It is often the most skilled decision of all. Turning around requires courage because the summit is a powerful dream. But survival honors life more than accomplishment. Many of the greatest stories on K2 are not only about reaching the top, they are about returning home. Let that be a gentle blessing over you tonight. Not every goal must be reached right now. Your most sacred journey in this moment is inward, toward rest. Let your ambition sleep too. Let your spirit breathe. Nights at altitude can be filled with restless half-sleep. The body wakes often, searching for air, adjusting to cold, listening for wind. Climbers accept this and do not fight it with anger. They conserve energy by staying calm. They rest in fragments, trusting that even fragments can sustain. The magic line teaches that perfection is not required for endurance, only persistence. So if you struggle with sleep sometimes, do not scold yourself. Even drifting is rest. Even quiet stillness is healing. Let your body take what it can. Let peace be enough, one gentle moment at a time. In the high world, the sun does not feel like the friendly warmth of a summer day. It can be bright and harsh, reflecting off snow until the eyes ache, until the world becomes a white glare. Climbers protect their vision with goggles, because losing sight up high is more than discomfort. It is danger. The magic line teaches care for perception. Protect what helps you see clearly. Tonight, your vision is not goggles but gentleness. Protect your mind from harsh thoughts. Dim the inner glare of self-criticism. Let your thoughts be. Soft focus now, like a candlelit room, and allow sleep to come like darkness that heals. A climber's hands are everything. Hands place tools, tie knots, clip ropes, build anchors, melt snow, zip jackets, hold hope. On K2, hands are always at risk. Numbness, frostbite, clumsiness from altitude. So climbers warm them whenever possible, inside pockets, against the body, over a stove flame for a moment. They treat their hands like precious instruments. The magic line reminds us that what serves others must also be cared for. Tonight, let your own serving hands rest. Let them be still. Let them release whatever they've been holding all day. Your work is done for now. Your hands may sleep. Steep ice demands a special kind of rhythm. Swing, set, test, step, breathe, repeat. The mountain does not reward frantic movement. It rewards steady cadence, like a slow hymn. Climbers often find themselves entering a trance-like focus, where each repetition becomes calming, almost meditative. The magic line can turn survival into a kind of prayer, one step at a time. Tonight you don't need ice tools or crampons to find that rhythm. Your rhythm is breath. In, pause, out, pause. Let it become your hymn. Let it sing you down into deeper rest. At altitude, the body burns energy simply to stay warm. Even when still, you are working. This is why climbers must eat and drink more than they think, and why exhaustion can arrive suddenly, like twilight. The magic line teaches respect for unseen effort. Many people feel tired without understanding why, because the work inside them is quiet and constant. So if you have felt depleted lately, honor that truth. You have been carrying more than you realize. Tonight, you don't have to carry it. Let the weight come off your shoulders. Let sleep do the work now. You're allowed to be held. On K2, weather forecasts are imperfect prayers. The mountain keeps its own counsel, and conditions can shift faster than plans. So climbers cultivate adaptability. They learn to change route, change pace, change expectations without breaking inside. This flexibility is not weakness, it is survival. The magic line teaches the beauty of yielding, like a reed that bends in wind and does not snap. Let that lesson soften your night. You don't have to be rigid. You don't have to control everything. You can yield to rest. You can bend toward peace. And in yielding, you will be safe. There are moments on steep routes when a climber must trust the unseen. Trust that an anchor is solid. Trust that the rope holds. Trust that the next foothold exists beyond the edge of sight. This trust is not blind. It is built from careful craft and honest checks. But once the checks are done, you must let go of constant doubt. The magic line teaches this sacred balance. Do what you can, then rest in trust. Tonight, you have already done enough. You have shown up. You have listened. You have breathed. Now let go of the checking mind. Trust the bed beneath you. Trust the night to carry you. Drift. On K2's south face, the cold can turn breath into crystals that cling to eyelashes and buff, tiny feathers of frost that sparkle in headlamp light. It is strangely beautiful, like the mountain decorating the human body with winter's jewelry. Climbers sometimes notice these small marvels even when tired, because wonder can keep the heart from hardening. The magic line teaches that beauty is not reserved for easy places. It appears wherever attention is gentle enough to see it. Tonight, let your attention be gentle. Notice one small good thing: the softness of your pillow, the quiet of the room, the simple fact that you are here, alive, safe, and allowed to rest. The steepness of the magic line means that a climber often cannot simply sit down without thought. Rest is planned, secured with a tether, positioned carefully, balanced against gravity's pull. This makes each pause feel intentional, almost ceremonial. The mountain teaches that rest is not accidental, it is chosen. In ordinary life, many people collapse into exhaustion without truly resting. But tonight, you are choosing rest with intention. You are letting your body settle on purpose. Let that be sacred. Let your mattress be your ledge, wide and safe. Let your blanket be your tether of comfort, and let your mind unclasp. At altitude, mistakes can multiply because the brain runs on less oxygen. A small error becomes a chain if not noticed early. So climbers practice double-checking with calm humility. Is the knot correct? Is the carabiner locked? Is the anchor equalized? This carefulness is not anxiety. It is devotion to life. The magic line teaches a quiet discipline that protects the future, but it also teaches when to stop checking, when to rest the mind. Tonight, there is nothing you need to double-check. No harness to tighten, no route to confirm. Let the checking part of you go off duty. Let it sleep too. Some climbers describe the mountain's silence as a kind of mirror. Without distractions, you meet yourself more fully. Your fears, your hopes, your stubbornness, your tenderness. The magic line, with its steep and serious beauty, can reveal the truth of a person's spirit. Yet this revelation is not meant to shame. It is meant to humble and refine. In the same way, the quiet of your room can be a mirror tonight. If something rises in you, an old regret, a soft longing, meet it kindly. Do not wrestle it. Just acknowledge it like a passing wind and return to breath. In cold and altitude, the body's priorities become clear. Keep core warmth, protect extremities, preserve energy. Everything else fades. This is why climbers often speak of the high mountains as teachers of simplicity. The magic line teaches that many worries are like extra gear, heavy, unnecessary, and best left behind. Tonight, set down a few of those invisible packs. The worry about tomorrow's tasks, the replay of something you said, the pressure to be perfect. Let them lie on the snow and be covered gently. You can pick them up later if they still matter. For now, rest. On steep faces, a climber's world shrinks to a small circle of light. The headlamp reveals only the next few meters, and beyond that is darkness. This can be frightening if you demand certainty, but it can also be freeing. You only need to handle what is illuminated. The magic line teaches trust in the small present, the next hold, the next breath, the next safe clip. Tonight, you are also living in a small circle of light. This bed, this moment, this inhale and exhale. You do not need to see the whole future to be safe. Let the darkness be gentle. Let it hide what does not need attention right now. Climbers on K2 often carry memories of those who came before, stories of bold attempts, hard lessons, sacrifices made in storms and steepness. these memories can feel like quiet companions on the route, reminding them to be careful, to be humble, to respect the mountain's seriousness. The magic line in particular is wrapped in legend and loss, and so it calls forth reverence. Tonight, let reverence be soft and healing, not fear. Reverence is simply remembering what matters most: life, love, return, home. And you are home now, or close enough to it in spirit. Let that comfort cover you. There is a moment, halfway up any great path, when the mind asks, "Why am I here?" On the magic line, that question can be sharp because the air is thin and the stakes are high. Yet many climbers answer not with ego, but with something deeper: to feel alive, to honor a calling, to walk a line that demands their best self. But tonight, hear this. You don't have to conquer summits tonight. You are here to rest. You are here to be restored. Let the mountain be a symbol, not a demand. Let the magic line become a quiet ribbon of wisdom across your mind, and let your body choose the gentlest route, downward into sleep, where grace waits like a warm campfire in the dark. Let your mind rest at this midpoint, as if you've reached a quiet, sheltered hollow in the mountain where the wind cannot reach you. You've listened to many truths now, about cold and patience, about humility and care, and you don't need to hold them tightly. Let them lie beside you like gear set down at camp, in and out, slowly. Imagine for a moment that you're inside a high tent on K2, but everything is gentle here. No danger, no urgency, only the soft hush of fabric, the faint glow of a small lamp, and the steady sound of your own breathing. Each inhale is a warm ember. Each exhale is a release, like letting go of a heavy rope coil you no longer need to carry. If your thoughts return to the day, let them pass without argument. Like clouds moving across a moon, you do not have to solve anything now. You do not have to prove anything now. You don't have to conquer summits tonight. You are here to rest. And even in your resting, something brave is happening. Your body is repairing, your spirit is returning to its quiet center, and your heart is remembering what safety feels like. Stay here for 3 slow breaths. In. Hold gently. Out. In and out. In and out. Let the space between thoughts widen. Let the space between breaths become peaceful. Let sleep approach the way dawn approaches a frozen ridge. Not suddenly, but faithfully and without force. After the midpoint on a great climb, many begin to feel the cost more clearly. On the magic line, that cost can show up as a deep heaviness in the legs, a dryness in the throat, a quiet question behind the eyes. This is why climbers return again to simple care. Sip water, eat a little, adjust a layer, check on a partner. They survive by honouring the basics when the mind wants drama. Let that lesson soothe you now. Honour the basics of rest: a relaxed jaw, a softened brow, a slow exhale. Your body knows the way down into sleep. In the high world, gratitude can become a survival tool. Gratitude keeps panic from taking the whole heart. It reminds a climber of what is still good: a working stove, a warm glove, a steady rope, a friend's quiet presence. On the magic line, even small mercies shine bright against the cold. Tonight, let gratitude be small and easy. Be grateful for the weight of your blankets, for the simple gift of stillness, for the fact that you are allowed to stop. Breathe gently and let gratitude glow like a candle until you drift. Let your breathing stay slow and smooth, like a calm lantern flame that doesn't flicker, in and out and again. The story continues without hurry, and you can simply float along as if carried by quiet air above a sleeping valley. The magic line asks climbers to accept that comfort is rare, and so they learn to make peace with enough warmth to keep hands working, enough shelter to pause, enough food to keep the body steady. This kind of enough is not sad, it is pure, like simple bread and water. It clears the mind of excess wanting. On K2, wanting too much can be dangerous because it tempts rushed choices. The mountain teaches a gentler desire to return, to care, to endure. Tonight, let enough bless you too. Enough softness beneath you, enough quiet in the room, enough breath to drift deeper into sleep. High on K2, the route can feel like a narrow conversation between ice and will. But the wisest climbers do not argue with the mountain. They study it, its snowpack, its temperature, the way the wind combs the face, and then they respond with humility. This is why the magic line is more than a line of ascent. It is a line of discernment, knowing when to move, when to wait, when to turn back. In your own life, discernment can also be a kind of mercy. Tonight, the choice is simple and kind. Rest. Let your mind stop negotiating with tomorrow. Let your body be the wise one now. Inhale, peace. Exhale, effort. On steep terrain, climbers sometimes build tiny platforms, cutting and shaping snow and ice into something that can hold a human body for a few hours. It is slow work, and it can feel almost sacred, carving a place to live in a place that does not naturally welcome living. The magic line teaches that shelter is made, not found. And in ordinary life, shelter is also something we can make inside ourselves, through routines, through gentle words, through forgiveness. Tonight, you are making shelter by listening, by breathing, by letting your shoulders drop. Let your bed be the platform. Let your blanket be the wall. Let sleep be the roof that closes softly over you. In the high world, rescue is never guaranteed, and this truth makes climbers more careful, not more afraid. It teaches responsibility, each person watching their own limits, each rope team protecting one another with steady attention. On the magic line, partnership becomes a quiet vow. I will not rush you. I will not leave you. I will keep checking that you are warm, that you are breathing, that you are still with me. This is the endurance spirit at its most beautiful, love expressed as patience. Tonight, imagine that same patient care surrounding you, invisible but real. You are not alone in the night. You are held. Breathe slowly and drift. The magic line is steep enough that even breathing can feel like work done with reverence. Climbers learn to match their movement to their lungs, letting the body set the pace like a wise elder. One step, one pause, one careful exhale. In that slow rhythm, impatience begins to dissolve. The mountain does not respond to hurry, but it often answers calm. Many have survived K2 not by being the strongest, but by being the most steady, saving energy like a sacred oil for the lamp. Tonight, you can practice that same steadiness in comfort. Let your inhale arrive gently, and let your exhale carry you down softly. On K2, the cold can make sleep feel thin, like a blanket that doesn't quite reach the feet. Yet climbers still close their eyes, because rest is a kind of courage. They learn to relax the face even when the wind presses hard against the tent. They learn to unclench the jaw, to soften the hands, to stop fighting the night. The magic line teaches that peace is sometimes chosen in difficult places, not as denial, but as devotion to life. Tonight, your night is kinder than theirs, so let peace be easier. Let your body trust the warmth that surrounds it, and let your mind drift like snow settling quietly. Higher on the face, every item has meaning. A spare glove is not extra, it is protection. A small snack is not minor, it is fuel for thought and balance. Climbers become careful with resources not from fear, but from respect for how quickly things can change. This carefulness is a form of gratitude, honoring what you have by using it wisely. The magic line reminds the soul that abundance is not only quantity, it is also attention. Tonight, give attention to what supports you, the stillness, the shelter, the gentle rhythm of this story. You have enough in this moment. Breathe that truth in and let it soothe you. In the high world, the body speaks in quiet signals. Cold toes, a dry throat, a slight tremble, a sudden fatigue. Wise climbers listen early before small warnings become heavy trouble. They drink before thirst, they add a layer before shivering, they rest before collapse. This is not weakness, it is a humble partnership with the body's limits. The magic line teaches that survival is often the art of early kindness, so offer yourself early kindness now. Loosen your shoulders, let your eyelids grow heavy, let the exhale lengthen, and allow sleep to come like a soft, faithful blessing. As the last few truths settle, let your breathing slow again, like a careful climber easing into a sheltered stance, in and out, unhurried. Imagine the mountain far away now, not as danger, but as a quiet symbol. Stone and starlight, endurance and mercy. You do not have to climb it tonight. You only have to rest. Feel how the bed holds you without asking anything in return. Feel how the night receives you without judgment. Let your thoughts thin out like clouds breaking apart in cold air. You are safe to drift. On steep routes, climbers learn to keep their movements small and precise, because wide, dramatic motions waste energy and invite mistakes. The magic line rewards careful economy, using only what is needed, saving the rest for later. This is a gentle lesson for the heart. You do not have to spend yourself on everything you feel. You can hold some energy back. You can move through life with softer edges. Tonight, conserve. Let your face relax. Let your breath do the work. Let your body sink deeper into the mattress as if the earth itself is saying, "I've got you." The Karakoram can feel like a place where the sky is closer than the ground. At night, the stars seem almost arranged like prayers, countless points of quiet light. Climbers on K2’s have described moments of looking up and feeling small but not frightened. Small in a comforting way, like a child under a vast protective roof. The magic line teaches that humility can be soothing. You do not have to be the center of everything. You can simply belong to the world. Let that belonging wrap around you now. Let the universe be wide and let your worries be small. Inhale peace, exhale surrender. In extreme cold, the body craves warmth, but warmth must be managed wisely. Climbers warm their hands, but they also avoid sweating. They seek shelter, but they do not stay too long when exposure will worsen later. Survival becomes a balance of comfort and discipline, like tending a flame so it doesn't burn out or flare too high. The magic line teaches balanced living, gentle care without excess. Tonight, your balance is simple: enough warmth to relax, enough cool air to breathe easily, enough quiet to let sleep arrive. Adjust nothing with urgency. Let comfort be slow. On the south face, every anchor is a small testimony, a piece of metal placed carefully, a sling tightened, a knot dressed and set. Climbers trust these anchors with their lives, but that trust is built through patience and practice. The magic line reminds us that trust is not a sudden feeling, it is a steady craft. In your own night, your anchors are small too. The steadiness of breath, the safety of your room, the rhythm of this calm narration. Let yourself trust what is holding you. Let your shoulders drop as if you finally believe you're supported. Drift gently. Above high camps, the line between determination and stubbornness becomes important. Determination listens, stubbornness ignores. Wise climbers choose determination, the kind that stays humble, that changes plans when conditions change, that values return over pride. The magic line has taught many that the greatest strength is not pushing forever, but choosing life again and again. Tonight, choose life through rest. Choose mercy for your body. Choose softness for your mind. You don't have to force sleep. You only have to welcome it, like opening a door to a warm room. In the high world, even laughter can feel rare, but when it comes, it shines like a lantern in wind. Climbers sometimes share a quiet joke in a tent, a small smile over a cup of melted snow, and that simple warmth can steady the spirit more than any gear. The magic line teaches that joy does not need a wide stage. It can live in tiny places. Tonight, let your joy be gentle, maybe a soft gratitude, maybe a calm relief that the day is over. Let your heart loosen its armor. Let your breath carry a hint of sweetness, and let sleep arrive like a kind companion. The body's sense of cold can change at altitude, and danger can hide in numbness. That is why climbers keep checking. Wiggle toes, flex fingers, notice sensation, protect skin from wind. They do not wait for pain, because pain arrives late. The magic line teaches early attentiveness, care before crisis. In your own life, early attentiveness can look like rest before burnout, silence before overwhelm, kindness before harshness. Tonight, you are practicing that wisdom simply by being here. Let your eyelids feel heavy without resisting. Let your breathing deepen without effort. You are caring for yourself in time. On K2, climbers often move in the quiet hours before dawn, when the cold firms the snow and the world is still. There is a sacred feeling to those hours, the sense of being awake while the world sleeps, the sense of walking through a hidden chapel of darkness and stars. The magic line in these hours can feel like a path through silence itself. Tonight, you are also in sacred hours. The world may sleep around you, and you are allowed to follow it. Let the darkness be friendly. Let it be a blanket for the mind. Let it cover you with permission. In extreme conditions, communication becomes simple and precious. A few words, spoken clearly, can save energy and prevent mistakes. Clip. Wait. Okay. Warm. The magic line teaches that not everything needs a long explanation. Sometimes love is a single steady word. Tonight, if your mind is filled with long sentences, let them shorten. You do not need an inner debate. You do not need a speech to yourself. Let your only message be this: rest. Whisper it in your thoughts. Rest. And let that word be enough. On steep faces, the difference between panic and calm can be one breath. Panic steals oxygen. Calm preserves it. Climbers learn to pause when fear rises, to place the tools carefully, to widen the focus, to return to the body. The magic line teaches that fear can be met with gentleness rather than force. So if anything unsettles you tonight, an anxious thought, a sudden memory, meet it softly. Breathe in as if gathering light. Breathe out as if releasing a stone into deep water. Let calm spread through you like warmth through fabric. As you listen, let your breathing slow again, like a careful climber placing each foot with intention. Feel the soft weight of your blankets as a safe camp against the winds of the day. Nothing is chasing you here. Nothing is demanding a decision. The story will keep walking, and you can simply float beside it, lighter and lighter. Imagine the stars above K2, quiet, countless, patient, and let your thoughts become like those stars, present but not loud, in and out and drift. The magic line is often spoken of with reverence because it is not merely steep, it is exposed, committing, and serious in a way that asks for a clean heart. Climbers who step onto it must accept that the mountain does not negotiate. This acceptance can feel heavy at first, but it can also bring peace. When you stop arguing with reality, you stop wasting strength. The line teaches surrender without defeat, surrender as wisdom. Tonight, you can practice that same surrender in a gentler form. Stop arguing with your tiredness. Stop resisting the slow pull of sleep. Let it take you as naturally as night takes the day. In the cold, the body shivers to create warmth, but shivering also burns energy. Climbers learn to prevent shivering when possible, by layering early, by moving steadily, by keeping core heat protected. This is a quiet strategy of kindness. Don't wait until discomfort becomes crisis. The magic line teaches preventative care. In your own life, prevention can look like boundaries, breaks, and rest. Tonight is that break. Tonight is that boundary. Let your body stop shivering on the inside, from stress, from pressure, from overthinking. Wrap your mind in softness. Exhale slowly and feel yourself settle. At high altitude, sleep can be disturbed by breathing patterns that change in thin air. Climbers sometimes wake gasping, not from fear but from physiology. They learn not to panic at this, but to adjust calmly, sit up, breathe slowly, sip water, return to stillness. The magic line teaches gentle response instead of alarm. Tonight your air is richer, your bed safer, your body more supported. Let that safety sink in. Let your breathing be smooth and steady. And if you wake later, you will return to rest just the same, like a boat returning to a calm shore. On K2, every sunrise is a quiet miracle. Light spills over ridges, touches ice, and turns the world briefly golden, even in the harshest place. Climbers often pause to witness it, because beauty can steady the spirit more than ambition. The magic line teaches that wonder is not a distraction, it is nourishment. Tonight, you don't need a sunrise. You can let your inner world glow softly in the dark. Imagine a warm light behind your ribs, gentle and steady, like a lantern in a temple. With each inhale it glows, with each exhale it calms. Let that light guide you deeper into sleep. The steepness of the route demands constant awareness of balance, weight over the feet, tools set securely, rope managed without tangles. A small loss of balance can become a big consequence, so climbers cultivate centeredness, moving from the core, staying calm, staying aligned. The magic line teaches the blessing of being centered. Tonight, you can find center without effort. Feel the middle of your body, the quiet place where breath expands and releases. Let that center be steady. Let everything else soften around it, and drift, as if sleep is lowering you gently onto a bed of snow that is warm, safe, and kind. In the high world, the body can feel like it belongs to the mountain, moving slowly, wrapped in layers, breathing with effort. Yet inside all that gear and cold, a human heart keeps beating with quiet faithfulness. The magic line reveals this truth. Endurance is not always loud heroism. Often it is simply the willingness to keep going gently, to keep caring, to keep showing up even when you feel small. Tonight, you do not need to endure in that way. But you can honor that spirit by giving your own heart what it needs now. Let it slow, let it rest, let it be tended by sleep. Climbers learn that the smallest injury can become serious at altitude. A blister can turn into a limp, a small cut can freeze and crack. So they care for minor things early. Tape, ointment, clean bandages, careful footwork. The magic line teaches respect for the small. Small pain, small fatigue, small sadness, these deserve kindness, not neglect. Tonight, give kindness to whatever feels small but sore inside you. Don't dismiss it. Don't argue with it. Simply cover it with gentleness, like placing a warm glove over a cold finger. Breathe and let healing begin quietly. On K2, every climber carries an invisible weight, the knowledge of risk. But those who survive learn to carry it without letting it crush them. They acknowledge danger, then return to discipline. Move carefully, stay hydrated, stay warm, stay connected. The magic line teaches this balance between awareness and peace. In everyday life, you may also carry invisible weights, responsibilities, worries, memories. Tonight, set them down. You can pick them up tomorrow if you must. For now, you are allowed to be unburdened. Feel your body sink heavier into the mattress. Let the exhale be long. Let the night hold the weight for you. There are times on steep routes when a climber must pause simply to breathe, not because they are weak, but because the mountain is high. These pauses are not failures, they are wisdom. The magic line teaches that pausing is part of progress. In life below, many people forget this, rushing until the soul feels wind-burned. But tonight, pausing is the entire purpose. You're not behind. You're exactly where you should be. Here, breathing, listening, letting the nervous system unwind like a rope coil laid neatly on snow. Pause again and let sleep come closer. In harsh cold, even tears can freeze, but emotion still exists, quiet and deep beneath layers. Climbers sometimes feel sudden tenderness on big mountains, thinking of home, of loved ones, of simple warm rooms and familiar voices. The magic line can awaken gratitude for ordinary life, for small comforts that once seemed invisible. Tonight, let that gratitude reach you. Your shelter is real, your warmth is real, your rest is real, and you deserve it. Let the thoughts settle like soft powder snow, and let your mind become still enough to sleep. On K2, climbers often speak of the weather window, a brief opening when wind calms and the sky clears. It can be short, fragile, and precious. Those who survive learn to recognize it and move with quiet readiness, not frenzy. The magic line teaches respect for timing and faith in the openings life provides. Tonight, your weather window is here too. A window of quiet, a window of stillness, a window where the world asks less of you. Don't rush through it. Rest inside it. Let it be wide and gentle. Let your breath become the calm air you've been waiting for. The higher you go, the more the mountain strips away extra thoughts. There is less room for performance, less room for impressing anyone. The only question that matters is, are we safe? The magic line teaches that survival is a holy simplification. And in that simplification, something tender appears. The truth that you are already enough. Tonight, you don't need to be productive. You don't need to be impressive. You don't need to carry the day's mask into the night. you can simply exist, breathing softly, letting your muscles release. Let enough settle over you like a warm hood against the cold. On steep faces, climbers often keep their world organized because chaos costs energy. They place tools where they can reach them. They keep ropes tidy. They store essentials close to the body. This simple order is not about control. It is about peace. The magic line teaches that calm is easier when the inner world is not scattered. Tonight, you don't need to organize a backpack or a rope coil, but you can organize your attention. Bring it back to one place, your breath. Feel the inhale lift gently. Feel the exhale soften and lower. Each breath is a small act of order. Each breath is a quiet clearing of space for sleep. K2’s cold air is dry, and dryness can make the throat sore, the lips crack, the body feel worn. Climbers protect themselves with small rituals: lip balm, warm drinks, face coverings, careful hydration. The magic line teaches the tenderness of small protection. So tonight, protect yourself from dryness of spirit as well. Don't let harsh inner talk crack your heart. Don't let worry dry you out. Offer yourself warm words, even if only one. Peace. Breathe it in. Let it coat the inside of you like warm water and drift. On the biggest mountains, the summit is never guaranteed, but the journey still teaches. Even turning back can be a victory of wisdom, because it means life was chosen over pride. The magic line is famous partly because it asks for that kind of wisdom again and again. And this is the quiet glory of the survival spirit. Not only reaching high places, but returning with humility, returning with breath still in the lungs, returning with love still intact. Tonight your return is simple: returning to yourself, returning to rest, returning to peace. Let your mind come home now. Let it settle. Let it sleep. In the high world, silence is not empty. It is full of wind's long whispers, full of the soft crackle of ice, full of your own breath sounding close and honest. Climbers on the magic line sometimes feel as if the mountain is listening back, as if the world is holding its breath with them. This kind of silence can be frightening if you demand noise, but it can be healing if you let it. Tonight, let silence be full for you too, full of safety, full of stillness, full of permission. Listen to your breathing like a gentle song and let it lull you. There is a particular kind of tiredness that comes from altitude, not the tiredness of a busy day, but a deep cellular weariness, as if the body is carrying stone inside it. Climbers learn to respect this fatigue. They do not shame themselves for it. They treat it as information, and they respond with rest, warmth, and patience. The magic line teaches that exhaustion is not a moral failure. It is a message. Tonight, if you feel heavy, receive that message with compassion. Your body is asking for gentleness. Give it. Let the bed take your weight. Let the exhale be long. Let sleep become the kind answer. On steep routes, a climber's safety often depends on systems, redundancy, backups, careful checks. 2 points of attachment, extra layers, spare batteries. This is not paranoia. It is wisdom, acknowledging that humans are fragile in extreme places. The magic line teaches humble preparation. In your life, your systems might be simple: a routine, a supportive friend, a prayer, a quiet place like this. Tonight, you are already within a system of care. This calm narration, this resting posture, this steady breath. Trust it. You don't need to hold everything alone. Let yourself be supported, like a climber clipped safely into the rope. The mountain's beauty can sometimes feel almost unbearable. Ice glittering like shattered crystal, dawn turning ridges into gold, clouds moving beneath your feet like slow rivers. On K2, this beauty doesn't erase danger, but it reminds the soul that life is vast and mysterious. The magic line teaches that awe can be a form of peace. Tonight, let awe be gentle and distant, like a star you don't have to reach. Simply imagine the high ridges under moonlight, the quiet sweep of the Karakoram sky. Let that vastness make your worries feel smaller, like footprints in snow that will soon be covered. In extreme cold, the body sometimes forgets how to relax. Muscles stay tight, as if bracing against the wind even when inside a tent. Climbers learn to consciously soften, relax the shoulders, unclench the jaw, loosen the hands. This intentional relaxation saves energy and keeps the mind clearer. The magic line teaches that relaxation is a skill. Tonight, practice it gently. Let your forehead smooth. Let your tongue rest in your mouth. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Each release is a quiet blessing. Each release is a step deeper into sleep. As the story nears its final stretch, let your breathing become even slower, as if you are descending into a soft valley after a long, high traverse. In and out and again. Feel the calm spreading through your body like warm light through a cabin window. Nothing needs to be held tightly now. Let each sentence be a feather falling. Let each breath be a small surrender. You are safe, and you are nearing rest's gentle shore. On K2, some climbers describe the mountain as a teacher that never raises its voice. It teaches through consequence, through weather, through the quiet honesty of steepness. The magic line is one of its strictest lessons. It invites only those who can move with humility, patience, and care. And what it teaches most clearly is this: life is precious, and it must be protected. Tonight, protect your own life gently by resting. Your body is not a machine. Your spirit is not a tool. You're a living flame, and sleep is the shelter that keeps the flame from going out. The highest places can make a person feel alone, yet many climbers speak of a strange companionship there. Companionship with the sky, with the wind, with the quiet presence of those who came before. The magic line carries memory like a hidden current. It reminds the living to walk carefully, to honor sacrifice, to treat each step as sacred. Tonight, let memory be kind to you. Let it bring not regret, but gratitude. Gratitude for your own survival. Through hard days, through storms of mind and circumstance, you are still here, and that is a quiet triumph. On steep faces, the body sometimes moves, while the mind grows silent, as if the soul has learned to trust the rhythm of survival. Swing, set, step, breathe. The magic line teaches that rhythm can carry you when strength feels thin. In your own night, let rhythm carry you too. Let the rhythm of breathing be your robe. Let the rhythm of this voice be your path. You do not need to think your way into sleep. You can simply be carried into it, like a boat drifting into a calm harbour under starlight. Climbers at altitude often speak of the importance of warmth at the core, keeping the chest and belly protected, because when the core cools, everything else begins to fail. The magic line teaches the sacredness of the center. Spiritually, the center is where peace lives. Tonight, bring your attention to that center, your chest rising softly, your belly expanding gently. Feel warmth there, even if only imagined. Let it grow with each inhale. Let it settle with each exhale. And let that warmth be a promise. You're cared for. You are held, you are safe. Every great mountain journey ends the same way, not with a headline, but with a return to stillness. Whether one reaches the top or turns back, eventually the climber leaves the high slopes and returns to quieter ground. The magic line teaches that the most sacred part is not the height, but the return. Returning to life, returning to love, returning to the simple miracle of breath at lower air. Tonight, let your mind return too. Return from the day's heights and pressures. Return to a softer place inside you, and let sleep be the gentle path home. On K2, even the strongest climbers must bow to the mountain seasons. There are times when the peak is simply not available, when wind rules the ridges and snow seals the face. The magic line teaches acceptance. Not every door opens when we want it to, but acceptance is not despair, it is peace with timing. Tonight, acceptance can be your comfort. Accept that you are tired. Accept that you are human. Accept that rest is not something to earn, but something to receive. Let that receiving feel holy. Let it feel like grace arriving quietly at your bedside. Many who speak of difficult routes remember not the suffering most, but the moments of care, sharing a rope, sharing a glance, adjusting a partner's hood against the wind. The magic line reveals the beauty of the survivor spirit in its truest form, compassion under pressure. In life below, compassion can fade when days are busy, but tonight, let compassion return, starting with yourself. Speak softly inside your mind. Forgive yourself for what you didn't finish today. Forgive yourself for what you couldn't carry perfectly. Your worth does not depend on performance. You are allowed to rest, simply because you are you. In the high world, the summit is a point, but survival is a practice. The most important skill is not the final push. It is the steady daily discipline of staying alive. Hydration, warmth, pacing, awareness, humility. The magic line teaches that true strength is ordinary and repeated. Tonight, let your strength be ordinary too. The courage to close your eyes, the patience to breathe slowly, the trust to let sleep come when it comes. This is endurance in a quieter form. This is the practice of peace. K2 stands like a dark monument against the sky, but even it cannot hold back the passing of night into morning. Storms come and go, winds rise and fall, and the mountain remains, silent, immense, patient. The magic line is part of that patience, a thread of human dreams stitched onto ancient stone. Tonight, remember this. Your hard moments also pass. Your storms move through. Your fear does not get the final word. You are carried by time, by breath, by a mercy that keeps returning. Let that mercy settle over you like fresh snow, clean and quiet. And now, as our journey along K2's magic line comes to a gentle close, let the mountain become a symbol of what you have already survived. You have walked your own steep faces, days of thin air, nights of wind, moments when courage was simply continuing. And here you are, still breathing, still held, still worthy of peace. You've walked far above with the Himalaya's great mountain spirit, and even in your rest, you already conquered great peaks in the journey of life. If tonight's journey brought peace to your spirit, remember to like this video, subscribe, and share what great survival story you love to dream through next. And when you're ready, click the video on your screen to continue your endurance path to the summit. May peace guard your dreams until morning, and may grace be the first light to greet you when you wake. Good night,